right now. But okay.
All right, you're live.
All right. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are joining us from. Tonight is a very special night. Why? Because I believe that a lot of business owners or aspiring business owners, right, will have a lot more to say at the end of this call for their businesses. Right. So I want you guys to pay us very rapt attention. And by all means, if you have questions, don't hesitate to make use of the chat box. And if you're the kind that you can't type but you want to, speak up, just use the raise your hand feature and the opportunity to be given to you to speak up, right? So we're looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you this wonderful evening. Okay? All right. So kindly confirm first that you can hear me. So I'm sure I'm not speaking to myself. Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much, Sam. All right. So tonight's session is the personal brand playbook, right? Building visibility that opens doors. I, for one, love this topic so much because I know how relevant it is and how important it has been for my journey, right? Being taking cognizance of the fact that personal branding has a lot to do for you, right, than you can ever imagine. All right. So we're going to look at crafting visibility that attracts opportunities and amplifies your voice. Sometimes we're very visible, but we're not attracting opportunities. Of course, we are posting content every single day on Instagram or on your website or on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever social media platforms you're on. You're into leads, then there's something missing, right? And if you're being visible and your voice doesn't hold water for lack of words, I always tell people in my space, strive to be a thought leader. What that means is that beyond just doing the normal, right, you're reaching for more. There's always a place called better. So why not you to experience that better? So we're going to look at how your visibility can help amplify your voice, make you a thought leader, and people will see you as a person of value, because at the end of the day, value is what is rewarded, right, with opportunities, salaries, remunerations, whatever you want to give as an example for a reward system for value given. All right. Now, your opening hook for every single thing that you want to do, right? Because I see some people just joining maybe LinkedIn or joining Instagram and they're making their very first post. It matters a whole lot because it's to tell the audience, am I going to be interested in this person? Should this person be a person I follow? Now, I'll just share a quote by Jeff Bezos, right? Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So the question now is, what are people saying about you online or offline? I'd rather prioritize what they're saying about you offline, right? Of course, online would affect your brand if a negative thing, but offline, right? It affects even those that are not even on social media. So potential customers are going to be affected as well. So you ask yourself these questions. I want all of us to ask ourselves these questions. What are people saying about you? What are people saying about your brand, right? Online, offline, talk to us, right? Tell us on the comment section what you think. Sometimes you can be very sure actually of what people are saying because of how much effort you have put into it. All right. Now, why personal branding matters? Why personal what branding matters? So I'm showing you two things right now. Put things on my screen. What you see, what you see to my left is it's just take like a desk, a writing desk. And what you see to my right is a smartphone. All right. One is traditional. So on your writing desk, you have your credentials, your titles. You go to someone's desk in the office, right? You see like a name, a placeholder for their names there, right? Maybe to a large extent, you see like certificates around their offices to show like their credentials, and you see a few pictures, different pictures in that office space that shows their networks. Oh, you have a handshake with the president of the United States. He has a picture there. He has a handshake with the Queen of England. He has a picture there. So you can come into a traditional office space and be able to read the room and tell whether this person is well versed in knowledge, whether this person has robust connections, whether this person is a person of value, right? Because maybe you see now, but it's not the same thing for the modern era. The modern era is, let me see if I can just hold out a device. This is the modern era. So what people come online and they see about you is what they will take about you. Sincerely, I watched a series called Suits. I don't know if you watched that series, right? And so there was this character that didn't go to law school, but then he had been helping people write LSATs, right? That's like the law version of SATs, right? And he has been passing for them, but because he more or less was. Let me see if I can let these people in. Because he more or less got flagged for when he was in high school, right? It was in college rather. I think high school. He got flagged for malpractice, and then they banned him from entering into any law school. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see my screen? All right. Thank you very much, Joy. All right.
We see it,
So,
but it's on one particular slide.
oh,
So I don't
I'm
know.
still on why personal branding matters. Is that what you see?
Yes, yes.
All right, fantastic. So we're in the right place. All right. So because of that, he couldn't get into law school. So he got into a company. The person that the senior partner at the time that attended to him realized he didn't go to law school, so they just faked it. Right? He got someone that was a techie, and she put a result for him on the internet. On the internet, he's a lawyer because he has the, I don't know what to call it. I think it was called to bar, pretty much that. But if you go to check the actual record, he doesn't have a file. So what does that mean? It means that as much as the traditional is important, right, the modern is more critical. I'm not saying go and lie. No, I'm saying be very conscious of what you put out on the internet, because the internet never forgets. So how are you branding? How can people come onto your page and, like a traditional office, how can they see the various pictures with the president, the various pictures with the people that matter around you? How can they see your various awards at a glance? Because the good thing about the traditional office spaces is when you come in, you see everything. You see the name tag on the table, right? You see pictures around, you see awards, you see newspaper publications, you see so many things. How can people come online and see everything about you that needs to be seen, that shows value? That is why branding matters. If you want to be in life, you want to be the kind of person that says, I like to be mysterious, or my Instagram does not have a post on my TL, right? Just maybe some highlights on my page. If you're in this call, let me see. Let me see like a significant. If you're among those people that on your Instagram, there's two posts. Or if they are posts, they are not more than 5. Let me catch you people now, because remember, if I say one, a lot of people will say, oh, I have one post. If your post on Instagram is not up to 5, let me get a thumbs up. I have some of you on Instagram, so I can actually go and check. So better report yourself now before I start opening our page, your various pages. Okay, Truth. I'm very sure. I'm also sure that Truth does not have up to 5 posts. Khadija does, I think. She does. I've seen her page. She does. Okay, I've not seen um Joy's page. I've not seen Kudus's page. All right. So I believe that you guys have. Okay, Khadija, you don't have up to 5, or you do have more than 5. Which one? So let's assume that you guys have more than 5. So that's good. That's a good thing. So, but having the numbers is not enough. Oh, Joy, Tare Media. Okay, I'll add you on Instagram. I'll add you on Instagram. Yeah, she has a lot. Fantastic. Now, having a lot is not enough if it's not showing your brand. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Khadija. If it's not showing things about you. Some of us on LinkedIn, we don't have a pinned post. Some of us on Instagram, we don't have a pinned post. We're just posting and posting and posting. And it's those achievements, like those pictures, like I mentioned, pictures with the president, those awards that need to be pinned, because that shows value. Those newspaper publications, they need to be pinned. Those opportunities you're given to speak, they need to be pinned. If you go to my page, you see a good number of speaker flyers, right? From 𝗧cie community, from Lead for Good Africa, and a few others, right? And that is because of the opportunities I've had. Of course, I can easily remove those flyers for my page. But how do I tell another person that at least I have the capacity to speak to a group of people? No evidence. You know, how does Burna Boy say it? So you go there, explain, tire, no evidence. So that's it. Imagine me meeting 𝗧cie𝗶𝗰 and said, "Oh hi, I'm a public speaker, and where's your evidence?" You go to my Instagram page, no post. You know what, like mysterious. Even my profile photo self is not my picture. Maybe it's a picture of myself. I'm covering my face like this. I'm trying to feel like I'm cool, right? But you're cool, but nobody knows you. So your coolness, has no relevance. I pray that's not any one of us on this call, anyways. Moving on. So define your brand identity. When people look at your page, they should be able to tell who you are. You should show your core strengths, your role, your signature skills. Some of us don't have bios on social media, right? Nothing can easily tell that, oh, you are a brand strategist. Nothing can tell that, oh, you are a teacher. Tell us. Share with us your core strengths. Tell us your roles, your signature skills. I feel like even our Instagrams, right? For example, we have the privilege of highlights. Why not every single highlight be a skill that you have, and then you not showcase to the world how you, because you can make your Instagram your working portfolio. You don't have to jump to the website. I'm giving Instagram as an example because it has a highlight feature that everyone can see at a glance. What do you stand for? What are your values? What are your values? Some of you are religious on this call. Can someone tell that you are religious when they come to your page? What are your values? And okay, if you're not religious and you're a person of values and morals and ethics, can they tell when you come to your page? What are your point of views? Right? What can people liken to your name? What can they say? This is if I can't kudos, I can't find kudos among this. I can't find Khadijat here. Can they say that of you just by looking at your page? What is a promise? What are they looking forward to? Because when people come to your page, they want to be inspired. When you tell them you want to impact 10,000 entrepreneurs by 2029, and you're telling them by at the end of 2025, you've impacted 1,000 already, they are ready to follow you to the 2029 to see you to that 10,000. But if there's nothing, how would they know who you serve? What are your audiences? The kind of content you even create, for example, do they tell people about your audiences? Oftentimes when I make posts, maybe I go for an event. We went for a conference recently, the Innovate Africa conference here in Abuja, and we took a few pictures. Some of my team members and I posted it on LinkedIn, and we basically just said, "Oh, our team went to this event, for the purpose of meeting these people because they are our target audiences." We didn't use those word for word, but when you read in between the lines, you see that, oh, we're pointing to our target audiences and we're giving our clients a perspective that we are a lot more than just stale knowledge. We are eager to learn. All right, that we are eager to learn. Just give me a minute. Community. What communities do you identify with? Can they tell? Can they tell when they look at your page? Can they tell? Oh, this person belongs to the Teachers Association of Nigeria, or this person belongs to the Stock Exchange Brokers of Ghana. Can they tell? So who do you serve? Now, so let's help you achieve that, right? Some of you are already there. For those that are not there, this is what we call the visibility formula. So in everything that you're doing, like I said, some of you may have a lot of posts, but they are not talking about your brand. They're not branding you. Nobody can go to your page and tell who you are. So start with clarity, a clear message, right? Tell us who you are. Put all the jargons aside. I was speaking with our business writer today, and we're trying to just craft a particular service. And she didn't use all those just big words, but I just felt like it wasn't us, right? And it felt like it was like you're trying to sell a particular product, but then your value proposition is talking about the entire company. I'm like, no, I don't think this will sit well. Was it good? It was good, but for this particular thing, I doubted it. So your niche, you're an entrepreneur. Okay, what do you do? What industry? Are you in textile? Are you in agriculture? Are you in media? Are you in communications? You should be able to tell. Clarity, your offer, what are your services? If I can't go to your page and see what you do, and I don't know what to reach out to you for if I don't know what you do. When I went for the conference, I was privileged to meet Dr. Abiodun Ashekun, right? For those of you that may be based in the United States, you may or may not have heard about him. So he was one time the managing director of American Airlines, right? But he started from the bottom and grew upward. And now he has his own what they call it. He has his own aero solutions, like a contracting firm, right, for other airlines. It's called Aero LLC. So you can read about it. So we're just talking. I went to meet my one of my mentor there. He was one of the speakers, and as I was speaking to him, he basically just said that oh, meet one of my mentees, right, and introduced me to him, and he said, oh, tell me about what you do. I didn't even know who he was. And at the end of the conversation, I basically just said, oh, what's your name, sir? And he said, oh, my name is 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰. It was when he came and gave the keynote much later that he basically just started telling the entire audience about how he went to the US for his to further his degree, and from there he started working. He said they should give him the course that nobody wants to take, and they said, oh, the course that nobody likes taking in university is aeronautical engineering, and he took it, and he rose from the ranks, getting to the level of the managing director of American Airlines, a black man in Nigeria, not even a United States citizen. Of course he's a citizen now, but at the time he wasn't, right? And then he's running his business from there. He hires over 9,000 people employed. That clarity, so that offer. So when he asked me these questions, I was able to talk to him on one. Oh, we just have entrepreneurs. How do you serve them? We basically connect them to finance opportunities. That's what we do. We prepare them to be investor ready. But like, how do you get investors? Are they local? Are they global? I was able to share. But if I had not thought about all these things before, I'll be biting my fingers. And I didn't know who he was when I spoke to him, right? So imagine I knew who he was and I spoke to him and I didn't even know what I was saying. I would have missed out on every opportunity. But I have privilege of his phone number, right? Don't ask me for his phone number. I will not give it to him. So, but that came from clarity. So for as many of you on this call that your core messages are not so clear, people cannot go to your page. And even you, if I ask you on this call, you can't share, there is a problem. You're going to be lagging behind as far as visibility is concerned. I want that for you. Connection. Engage peers. Like I said, I had a conversation with him, a lengthy conversation. We're just asking questions. From then he moved. How old are you? He moved from, okay, what educational qualifications do you have? We're just talking one-on-one. He had never met me before. He was just interested because of the industry we found ourselves in. Audiences, communities. We went to the conference to be able to expand our community. So every single one of us knew what the company did at heart. So when we met people, for example, when they asked us, oh, what do you do? We could easily tell. Consistency. Some of you have pages and you don't even post maybe like once in 2 weeks. Nah. You have to adjust that. So you don't have to have all one very fantastic content scheme created. You just have to have the one that is called enough. What that means for you is get a content calendar if you don't have one, right? We had the content calendar. I can't remember what session that was on. I think it should be around meta business. I'm not very sure. So you can go on YouTube, find a particular session, and access that content calendar, right? Cohesive visuals. What kind of imagery are you using? Of course, I don't shade anybody for the kind of devices that they use, but if you can find a better phone to take a picture, try that rather than use your phone camera that's not so clear. If you have the privilege of getting an actual digital camera, by all means. But if you don't have it, work with what you have to make it to be as clear as possible. If you're going to create visuals from the collect visuals from the internet, make sure that you're not Shutterstock. Some people use images from Shutterstock, and we're seeing the Shutterstock branding in the image. Like, we're so sure that this thing is not your own. What does that tell about you? It doesn't tell well about you. Let's get images from Pinterest. Maybe I don't know. I don't think that Pinterest has a watermark on their photos, but I know Shutterstock does. And you see those pictures on post pages with Shutterstock. Come on, when an AI era now, you can use AI to even create. You can share a small tagline of the content, create good visuals for you. Maybe to an extent, even videos. So make the most. Don't keep bare minimum as far as your brand is concerned. Conversion, right? opportunities, invites, clients speaking. You should have a forum for where someone comes in, right? It should be a door pathway that they can easily access you. Someone meets us for the very first time, give them a free consultation call. So we have someone that sends them calendar invites, they have calendar reminders, right? And then we bring them in. So your system, what system have you put in place rather that allows for conversion, credibility? Some of you have wonderful ideas, wonderful businesses, wonderful work samples, but they are not on the internet. When you apply for some jobs, they ask you, oh, if you're a writer, for example, because I am a writer, they say, oh, send us work samples. If it was on your platform, sometimes when you apply for jobs on LinkedIn, they say you can apply with your LinkedIn page. Don't apply with your LinkedIn page if you don't have work samples there. Don't apply with your LinkedIn page if you don't have testimonials there. Don't apply if you don't have results there. Or you should. So this is a call to every single one of us on this call. You want to be visible. It goes way beyond just posting contents. Post clear contents. Be specific about the niche. Let us know your offer. Let us not start wondering, okay, let us not have to ask you what exactly is your offer. It should be visible. Prioritize connections. Engage people. In your content, there should be an engagement flow, right? Engage peers. When you come online, we are adding to, we are following people. Follow them in the sense of followership. Followership means there's something this person is taking me to. Don't just add randomly as if they're celebrities. Your audiences, be specific about who your audiences are. Communities, join communities so you can find like minds. Collaboration is a new competition. Collaboration is a new competition. Collaboration is a new competition. Join communities, find like minds. Consistency. Regularly post content across board and make sure your visuals are top notch. Conversion, invites, clients speaking. This is how you check that you are visible. If in months your contents have not given you an invite, there's a problem. You go over it again. It's why you have KPIs. So your KPI should be, oh, I'm getting this X amount of invite. I'm getting X amount of clients. I'm getting X amount of speaking engagements. Right? Credibility. Make sure you're showing results, testimonials, work samples. Those of you that are working in the non-profit space, social proof content, social towards that, whatever it is you are doing, they are paramount. All right? They're what? They're paramount. Storytelling your brand. Oh, I can't stress this enough. Storytelling is so important. It's so important. It's so important. If you say, oh, I don't know how to tell a story, you have to learn. As far as your brand is concerned, origin, how did you start? I often tell people my journey through non-profit or anything purposeful started as a student on campus. I had an idea. I just felt everybody was leaving school, wanting to just graduate from school and go and work in the big firms. I graduated with an economics degree, and of course, I wanted to just go do my NYC in CBN or FRS or SEC, right, where I can get retained and be paid serious money. But I asked myself, if everybody does that or have those ideas, who creates a company that other people can look forward to going out to? So I said, okay, I want to transform inhabitants to builders. But how do I do that? I started calling people. I called, older people, and we got a program done. We had over 1,000 people in attendance at the University of Abuja in 2019. The event was called Shape the Future. If you have any sibling that went to University of Abuja in Nigeria, you can ask about it. I'm not sure everybody knew about the program, but if they do know, that means the program was that bogus, was that big rather. And then look at us today. From that time, 2019 through to now, is 6 years down the line. But it doesn't look like 6 years because everything is moving so fast because there is precision. Be able to tell that story. What value do you deliver? What are the outcomes? So I ended up speaking to the business writer who said, tell them that this is value proposition for this particular service, right? That will turn your business ideas into investor-ready business ventures in less than 6 months. So if you're on this call, you have crazy ideas, but you're thinking, can I ever be investor-ready? We are telling you now that we can get you investor-ready in less than 6 months. That's the value we're delivering to you. Those of you that are already established, but you want to have new inventions, we can help you bridge the gap between vision and execution. Very, very large goals. Let's help you prepare strategy documents. That's the value. Growth, right? What are the challenges? What are your learning and turning points? Tell us. As much as I don't love to see this on LinkedIn, I'm happy to announce, I'm excited to announce, it is still them telling you that they are learning new stuffs. They're showing you their turning points. Oh, I just got awarded with this. I hit this hurdle and what they're showing you the challenges, they're showing you growth, and growth is resonating. Growth is resonating. There's vision, future impact, and invitation. That's why I said, for example, Craft and Scale will tell you that by 2029, we want to have impacted 10,000 entrepreneurs. So if you're living off this call, for example, and you were a freelancer and you've just gotten what it took to become an entrepreneur, you're among that 10,000 because we impacted you by myself, right, as a representative. Future impact, invitation. What are you telling people to prepare for? So we are saying 10,000. If you go meet someone for funding, that's okay. You want money to fund this vision, right? How many people have you been able to impact so far? We'll show them our numbers. But if there's nothing put in place, how can they work with you? Storytelling, your brand is everything. I cannot stress that enough. Storytelling your brand is what? So type that on the comment section. Let's get this active. Storytelling your brand is everything. Storytelling your brand is everything. Storytelling your brand is everything. Let's get that on the chat box. Storytelling your brand is everything. Storytelling your brand is everything. Storytelling your brand is everything. I believe we're not shy, right? So type on the chat box. Storytelling your brand is everything. Storytelling your brand is everything. As many of you that are so shy of the camera, before you can get in front of the camera, why not write your story? Write it down. Let us know how you came to be. Let's know how the Khadijah's brand came to be. Let's know how the Michael's brand came to be. Let's know how the Joy's brand came to be. Let's know how the Fancy's brand came to be. Let's know how Sam's brand came to be. Then when you're bold enough to stand before a camera, then you tell us the story. Let us see the emotions you feel. Let us resonate with you. Let's relate to you. Let's know that the idea is not just a robot thing. Let's know that your experience are not AI generated. They are humanly experienced. Right? So tell us. Hold nothing back. Hold nothing back. Your story matters. So hold nothing back. Hold nothing back. So you want to actually share content that builds trust. Be transparent. There's a content I'm going to drop on LinkedIn very soon. I already prepared it like 2 weeks ago. We had a free conversation session for a business owner. And he said, one of my challenges is this. I'm a shy person. I don't know how to market my brand. He was so honest. I'm not going to lie to you, sir. I'm very shy. Please, how do I market my brand? He has earned my trust because I trust now that he's going to be open about even the things that he's a man. No offense, it's not. This is not a gender thing, right? But it's easy for people to say, "Oh, as a man, you can't market." But he said it outrightly. He laughed when he was saying it, but he was very sincere. And when I asked him again, he said the same thing. I am very shy. How do I market my brand as a shy person? Sometimes you want to be vulnerable. There's no way you can thrive in business without being vulnerable. There's no way. There is no way, I kid you not. There is no way you can thrive in business without being vulnerable. So show us your results. Give us short cases of your highlights. What did you do in the last 1 month? What did you do the last week? Oh, in the year 2024, I've been able to impact 300 people. If you do not tell us, how do we know your brand is legit? Human moment, process, personality. We went for the conference, we took a picture, we shared. We could have hoarded that picture, but we showed you that there are humans behind the brand. We showed you that we're humans nonetheless. Process is very soon. We're going to be sharing processes, right? How we move from client from awareness, right? So as a point from awareness to actually landing the proper client. We'll show you that. Even as a business person, we will show you that. Maybe that can be a session we'll have here. How to navigate through the sales funnel in itself as a freelancer, as a business owner. Process. Tell us. Nobody will steal your process, actually. So, because the truth is, process is relative. It's really more about the person behind it than the process strategy in itself. Because strategy, you can go on AI to generate strategy, but the human factor can never be the same. So show us your human moments. Engagement, your brand snapshot exercise. Let it be at a glance. Let it be what? At a glance, 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 at a glance. Before there's not a one-stop profile for you. You're going to have consistent audits, scan profiles, check different. As I said, collaboration is a new competition. Go to your competitors' pages, find out what they are posting that you're not. Search the results, check the likes on those particular posts, check their recent posts. What are they up to? Right? One strength, pick what already works. What already works does not need test. Test costs money. Find what already works and improve on it. So pick what already works and improve on it. So if you're trying to know what kind of content strategy am I going to have, don't start there. Go online and find working content strategies, and from it build yours. Don't go back. Forward ever, right? Backward never. Find one gap, because the truth is, if you're not bridging the gap, I give an example. Craft and Skill says we're bridging the gap between what ambition and execution, and I guarantee you a lot of us have businesses on this quarter where we're never going to start this life because we feel we're either too scared to start, or if we don't have the resources to start, or if we don't have the guidance to start. We're going to ask ourselves, well, are we going to be good enough for the businesses? That's what we're here to help bridge that gap. So you find your one gap. When you find that one gap, your message should tell it, your visual should tell it, right? Your message should tell it. Your visual should tell it. Your message should tell it. Your visual should, every single time they should go to your page and they should be able to tell easily that this is what they are solving. One action, one step. As much as you have the capacity to do 100 programs, do one, get it right, do it so well. Then you add another. Be small, specific step that leads you close to bridging that gap every single week. So ask yourself, every single one of us in this call, do you have a work plan? Every member of my team, if you don't like anything that I say, you must know what a work plan is. It breaks it down on a weekly by weekly basis, sometimes even on a daily basis. So you know what tasks you're doing. You don't just stop by knowing what you're doing. You know why you are doing it. So you know that this particular step is bringing you closer. It's closing the gap week by week. We're going to develop a website. We started from 3-4 months ago. What's the first thing we do? We find websites that in the industries that we want, and then we find websites that have things that with our colors. We have a period for that. Then we go and do a budget. How much will it cost to achieve this kind of website? What's the timeline? We do that. Then we now create another work plan that incorporates the product development. That's the web app, for example, the product development web life cycle. These are the steps. If you're not putting it on paper, there is a very big problem. And then by paper now, you can also have like them as Google Docs, right? But they should be somewhere visible. Because the truth is that if you don't have a system where someone can come, see all that you can do, and join you, you're running a freelance. You're not like a business. It's just a job you are doing. Because the day you fall down or you break down, no one can continue from where you stopped because they will not even know where you stopped. What does the work plan do? It has check boxes. It ticks it here, ticks it on the right, ticks on the left. Oh, I've done this task for this week. Or I've done this task for the next week, right? So when someone comes on board, they are so, oh, you have done all these things. And by the side, you already have the uploads of the documents you have already drafted, the steps you have already taken. So a stranger can come and work with you in less than 2 days. They use one night to go over all the things you have done so far and they jump at it. But if you don't have that structure, they will wait until you get better. What if you don't? Or what if you do get better, but it takes a while? Do you know how many opportunities you will lose just because you have no structure put in place that ensures that there is a process that can be followed and that keeps the identity of your brand the same? Come on. These are the things. These are the things. These are the things. So building long-term credibility now. As many of us on this call that don't do this, I'd encourage you to do so. Articles. Articles shows you're a thought leader. Newsletters. Case studies. Craft out one scenario. It could be real, it could be fictional, but show to us that you have been doing this thing for a very long time. Partnerships. Today, one of the VAs that I work with reached out and said, "Oh, sir, I wanted to speak to someone from another agency for us to partner with her. She does this. I think she told me that on Friday. I was like, okay, that's all right. Speak to her." And then she spoke to her and said, okay, let's have a letter created, right? Or a formal letter telling us what we can offer each other. Partnerships. Public speaking, for example, find every opportunity for your voice to be heard. Before you are invited, go on live on your own. Beckon on your friends to join your live. And then when they see that you're a thought leader, when they see that you have refined taste in your speech, in your choice of words, in your experiences, people will call you. Organize personal workshops. Be the only speaker for now. Be the only facilitator. But a time will come where you will not be the only speaker or facilitator. People will join you. Attend community events. Today you may be a spectator. Today you may be a participant, but tomorrow you will be the speaker. You may even be a panelist today, but next tomorrow you can be the keynote speaker. But it's a process. community, consistent value in spaces that matter. For example, right, if you're not doing video content, why are you on TikTok? Or if you're doing video content, you're not on TikTok, you're not on YouTube, you're only posting on LinkedIn. Come on, be consistent in spaces that matter. Bring consistent value to the spaces that matter. Bring consistent values to the spaces that matter. So let's personalize this. Go to the chat box and type, I will bring consistent, put your name there. 𝗧cie, 𝗧cie will bring consistent value to the spaces that matter. Put it on the chat box. Put your name, will bring consistent value to the spaces that matter. All right. So we're going to be ending on this note. Be so clear about your value that your name becomes the answer to someone's need. I kid you not. I kid you not. In my space of friends, right? When everyone has a writing need, they don't care what the writing is. They don't even care if it's a contract. They don't care if it's a white paper. They don't care if it's even in my discipline. But if it's writing, the first person that comes to their mind. I've had people reaching out for me that want to do LinkedIn optimization. They tell me like 2 months earlier, oh, Gary, I just started my master's degree in a university in Netherlands, and I want to be able to, share about my journey, right? But I've not started lectures yet. As soon as we start, I will want to be working on my LinkedIn. So I'm not telling you, hey, you're going to work on my LinkedIn for me. That is because you have shown them. You're so clear. Every single day I post flyers on my status about writing. Even when I have so much gigs on my hands, I have people that are working with me on the writing side, right? I have so much gigs going on right now, but I still post the flyer every single day. So you are reminded of what my value is. You know what your value is? Connect with healers. I talked about community. Join the healers community. Every single weekend, they are spitting value. Value. So if you're not so sure of what you have, let them refine what potential is in you. Let them bring it out. When you attend 1 or 2 sessions, you will find strengths. Attend weekly sessions. Good enough. Healers have weekly sessions. Attend it. And from this session, go to your bio, wherever you have Facebook, Twitter, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads. Go and update your bio. Let your headline carry a proof of what you do, what you have done, what you're looking forward to doing. Share one insight. Post a short story that shows your value. This is to every single one of you, right? Of course, there's no way I can check that you actually do this, but I'm encouraging you. Maybe this weekend, post a short story that shows your value. Some of you are doing amazing things. Some of you are transforming communities. Some of you are healing the land. Some of you are repairing the breaches to industries, but nobody can tell. Do you know why? You have not shared about it. There's nothing cool about hiding talent. There's nothing cool about hiding experience. Take it from me. I've been one of those persons. For those of us that may be that, like I said, religious, right? There's a scripture in the Bible that says you don't light the candle and hide it under the bushel. I was that kind of person. But if I had continued to be that kind of person, we would not have this opportunity to speak today. So start. You don't have a clear camera, it's fine. That's what you can assess. But if you can assess better, please use a better one. Post those videos, have those bloopers. I have a friend, she's a marketing expert. She shares more bloopers than the actual content. I talked about process. Share your process. Let them know you're not perfect. Let them know you're just another human being like them. Let them know you can make mistakes too. And let them know you can learn from mistakes as well. So I do hope that every single one of us will leave into this, because I'm going to open the floor for questions. We have 5 minutes to do that, right? I'm really hoping every one of us leave this session being more optimistic about our brands and being more intentional about our brands. And so that when you gather again, maybe next week, or you gather again tomorrow for another session, you are better off tomorrow than you were today. Why? Because you took a step. Because of what? You took a step. Because what you took. So there are power in words. I want you to type on the chat box. I am taking a step for my brand today. I am taking a step for my brand today. I am taking a step for my brand today. I am taking a step for my brand today. As we open the floor for questions. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Let's see what we can do to get you started. So type it. I am taking a step for my brand today. I am taking a step for my brand today. I am taking a step for my brand today. Also, there's a session survey on the chat box. Please, I'd encourage you to click it now. maybe you remember to fill it now because you're on the session, but click it now so it's on your various browsers, your Chrome browser, Safari browser, whatever it is you're using, your Microsoft Edge. So it is there. So as soon as the session is done, you can fill the survey form and let us know how we can serve you better, even on the 𝗧cie platform. So, all right. Thank you, Joy. I expect everyone to drop that. I am taking a step for my brand today. There is power in purposeful speaking, right? Thank you, Adedayo. I am taking a step for my brand today. Thank you, Khadija. I am taking a step for my brand today. Gary, I'm taking a step for my brand today. I am taking a step for my brand today. So the floor is open for questions. Any questions? Thank you, Fanny. I'm taking a step for my brand today. Any questions? Thank you, Christabel. I am taking a step for my brand today. All right, questions. Well, I'm just thinking it just means what if I'm not proud to be a teacher? All right. Okay, so as many of you that have dropped your IG handles, I will follow you. Better follow back. It's not a threat, but follow back. All right. Questions. You know, they said 2 reasons why there are no questions after a session. It's either the speaker did so well or the speaker talked, nonsense. I'd like to believe that, the former is the case and not the latter. So, but then I really want at least one question, right, before we bring the session to an end. So I like taking action as well. So I'm following you guys now one by one. Right, and if you want me to follow that, you can just somehow do. Questions. No questions? Okay, additions. Maybe there's something I missed out when it comes to branding you want to share with us, by all means. Questions.
Not a question, but I know we're starting the next session in about 3 minutes. Just want everybody to be aware of that as well. Bamila, we were talking about photography. So if you're interested in photography, please join us. You can find the links on the website or other spaces.
So we talked about joining communities and learning. So join that session, right? Photography comes in handy. It's photography you mentioned, right, Sam?
Yes, photography.
It comes in handy for every single person. You don't have to be a professional photographer. You don't have to have the path in photography, but you need photography. You go to events, how do you capture the right images? Visual quality, remember. So I'd encourage everyone to stay back for this session. All right. Okay. All right.
Yes, I think
So I believe there are no questions. Okay, I'm seeing one question on the chat box. Can you have? Oh, I didn't even know there were questions here. All right. So the first question for me, fine. I want to start today, but it's overwhelming. Where do I start, sir? Where do you start? That's a very profound question, actually. Start by deciding on what you want your brand to be. Right? You have different skills. What do you want to be recognized for? You may have different qualifications